Hi, everybody. It's Laurie Water, Director of Family Relations at All Points North Lodge, and I am working with my colleague Jay up in the Boston area. I'm just waiting for Jay to sign in. So we were having some technical difficulties today, so we're a little bit later than usual. I happen to be in Colorado at APN Lodge and absolutely loving my experience here. I'm videoing from inside because our clients are up and around today. It's a gorgeous day, and we're sort of in between programming. So I'm going to work from inside my room today. But it is a lovely day, and I do plan on getting outside after this. So I was live on Tuesday, and today I'm actually Jay's guest. So I don't want to take up his time, so I'm going to wait for him to kind of join with us. It's I don't know whether he was having internet issues or this is a newer experience for him. It's definitely a new experience for me. And when I don't have everything working as usual, I just start mumbling about whatever might be happening in my life. And I have to say that for right now, I got up here on Sunday and I was COVID tested and quarantined, and I came back negative early yesterday morning. And I've had the opportunity to spend time with many of the clients that have come into the program through me, and that has really been a joy. People that know me know that I really like to stay connected to the clients and families that come to treatment through me. And I like to really see how they're doing, progressing, what they need. So being here with them is really been a great experience, and I'm super grateful.
Good
So,
afternoon, Laurie.
hi Jay, how are you?
Sorry for my tardiness. It's my
No
lack of technical.
worries, no worries.
How's everything going?
It's good. Everything's great. It's beautiful up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you having a good time in Colorado? Sorry, I had to get that
yeah.
out of the way. Yeah.
I'm definitely having a good time.
Well, let's
So,
let's get started, and then we can chat some more because I want to know about how you're doing there. We'll talk later though.
okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us again for Therapy Thursdays, and I apologize for the late start. That's totally my fault today. Before we jump in and we talk to Laura, I just want to say, as usual, thank you to all the frontline folks working on everyone's behalf to keep us safe and to do what they do every day. Thank you, and we hope you guys are staying strong and doing well. Today, we're going to be talking to Laurie Water, APN Lodge's Director of Family Relations. I'm your Therapy Thursday host, Jay Evora, APN Lodge's Director of Community Relations in New England. I'm going to ask Laurie a few questions, get to know her, some information about our family program that hopefully will help folks get to know APN a little better and know about what we do with families. How's it going, Laurie?
It's going great. It's great to be here.
Yeah.
It's great to see the clients that I've spoken to numerous times on the phone and get to see them in person and see how they've progressed and starting to heal. And I'm just super grateful. I know my family wasn't thrilled that I jumped on an airplane, but yeah, I have no regrets.
Good, good, good. Cool, cool. Well, I'm going to jump right in real quick. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to APN Lodge.
Yeah, so my background is I've been in healthcare really my entire adult life. I'm a nurse for a gazillion years, working with families with children with special needs, and really a lot of that work was working with the families. And I just kind of veered off in another branch of healthcare and went back to school for my master's in family counseling and became really fascinated with what family recovery looks like. I had an interest in substance use and mental health, but I had a stronger interest in helping families be okay even when their loved ones were not. And that's a really hard concept for people to
It is.
understand that that you really can be okay even when the people that you love most are not. Um,
No, I agree.
yeah, it takes a lot of work and a lot of support, but you can go on to live a wonderful life. And um, so that became a huge interest. I met Abe Antine in Florida, um,
Hmm.
and he was building out Next Chapter, and I wasn't really sure at the time, but he asked me to work with him. And I kept saying, I'll work with you for the next couple months just until you find somebody that you really want. And and just couldn't stay away and really love the model of the program. I really enjoy working with Abe. I just like his energy. I like the way he thinks out of the box. I like the way he supports families and the work that he does with clients and the way he thinks differently about what their needs are and how he may be able to reach them in a different way and how he puts a team together. I think he does a great job of putting a really, really strong team together. And when he moved to Colorado, I took a little bit of time off to figure out, what I really wanted to do and really couldn't stop thinking about the program. So I went right back and have no
Well, it's great.
regrets.
Well, we're glad to have you, and I think Abe
Thank
would
you.
second that. I think everyone on the team would second that. Yeah, Laurie, for those that don't know, Laurie's awesome.
Thank
Um,
you.
and that brings me to the next question. You're welcome. That brings me to the next question. Can you talk about the family work being done at APN Lodge and what it means to a client, a family, a referent, just so folks kind of understand kind of what we do and our approach.
Yeah, so the family component to our program is a very um, very integral part of the work that we do. So we do have some clients that are, come to us and are only willing or able to stay with us for a shorter length of stay, maybe 30 days, or they intend to only stay for 30 days. And for clients that are coming for a really short period of time, the work that we do with the families is we can't go as deep in that process.
Hmm.
But for the clients that are staying with us longer, the families are actually working in a parallel process to their loved one that's in treatment. And by that, the individual in treatment is working with a primary therapist, and the family members, significant others, are working with a family therapist doing similar family of origin work, and it's almost a collaborative team. So
Hmm.
the family therapist and the primary therapist are communicating with each other. The family gets an update call from the primary therapist and a therapeutic call from the family therapist. And that work is so important to the healing of not only the client but the family as a whole.
Hmm.
And so what we're really looking at is helping the individual grow, um, mind, body, and spirit, as
Hmm.
well as family. Like, I would say that it's absolutely the fourth component to the work that we do. And so we don't work with a client and help them, um, whether they're working on their trauma, substance use, mental health issues, and do a significant amount of work with them and then put them back into a family system that has had no growth.
No, no, it makes perfect sense. I mean, we want to create healthy family systems, not just healthy individuals that are plopped back into unhealthy systems, because
Right,
then the whole family system will kind of break down again. So it makes
right.
perfect sense to do that. Um, along those lines, when you speak with clients and families, what are some of the most important things that you want to get from them um, in your initial conversations about, in terms of treatment, et cetera?
Yeah. So initially, we certainly want to know if the client is appropriate for treatment. And when we
Hmm.
when we look at that, we're looking at the mental health status, um, as stability of mental health, any suicidality, any plan for suicide, what their past history has been, any self harm, any harm to others. So we're really looking at the level of acuity in mental health, and along with that, the same thing with substance use. Like, we really want to make sure that the client that's coming to us is going to get the care that they need, and from the get go. So we don't want somebody that coming to us that hasn't had a withdrawal management experience to come to us and not be well and comfortable. So we
Yep.
want them to be successful. We also want to know that the milieu that they're going to be in is one that's going to help them thrive, that they're going to feel safe in, that they're going to connect with others, because peer support is such a big part of recovery. We do a
Hmm.
lot of group work, and they're small groups, but there's a tremendous amount of power in the group, and
Hmm.
a lot of work around reducing shame takes place within our groups. So we really want to make sure that they're a good fit on that level. And then financially, we want to make sure that this is a program that the family can afford without, taking out a mortgage on their home and
Hmm.
without
Yeah.
compromising the other family members. We know that there are a lot of good programs out there, and we will always refer to partners that
Hmm.
that we trust and that are reputable and ethical, and we know do good work. So as wonderful as we know that All Points North Lodge is, we know that there are a lot of wonderful programs out there. And so we will refer to programs where we think it's going to be the right fit for the client.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent way to kind of look at it. I mean, taking into account everything that a family needs, along with the financial component to make sure they get what they really, what's really going to be best for them. I think it makes a lot of sense. The more we can do that, the more partners we have, the better off any client that comes to us is. So I love that approach. Speaking of that, what do you think sets APN Lodge's approach to working with families apart from, say, other treatment centers that also work with families? And like you just mentioned, there are good programs out there, but obviously there are some that do different things, and we obviously do some things that we think are, maybe a little better, or we just do differently that we think work.
We think we do everything better. No.
Great answer. Question
So
done.
no. So I actually think that there are some things that we are really exceptional at. And I would say that, and I say this to families as well. Like, I don't say to a family, we do it better than anybody else, because I don't really believe we do it better than anybody else, but I do believe that we do it as well as the best of them. And I think some of those things are, in working with families, I think some of the things that we do exceptionally well are really getting families on board to do the family work. A
Hmm.
lot of family members are not interested in doing their own work. And, it's like, it's not my issue. Do what you need to do with him, and we're good.
Yep.
So I think we have a lot of strength in getting families to see the value in doing their own work. And I think the depth of the work that we do with family members is also pretty exceptional. The attention to detail,
Hmm.
um, like, I feel like there's no stone left unturned, and and um, and I think we get to the root of the issue fairly quickly. We know that we only have their loved one for a limited period of time, and I
Hmm.
think that we don't shy away from asking the tough questions, and from I wouldn't say confrontational, because I don't think we're confrontational at all, but I think that we aren't we don't shy away of talking to families about what we see as maybe issues that have never been talked about before and need to be addressed. And sometimes the best time to do that is when their loved one is in treatment, where they are supported and there's a team around them and they can process, whatever's going on, and and learn how to manage it with a whole clinical team there to guide them through.
No, I think that it's awesome. I think yeah, we kind of peel back the onion in a way that some other organizations may not. We kind of do bottom up, really deep dive. Like you said, no stone unturned. Even when we talk about the financial piece, and if someone is not appropriate, I think that's a part of it as well. And that's a part that's not appreciated as much. So I agree 100%. Along those lines, I know we have some new things coming online, and then to help support families. Can you talk more about our family support group that we're developing that'll be going live on Zoom soon?
Yeah, so and I'm really excited about this. So we always recommend to families to get to get outside support. 12-step meetings,
Hmm.
Families Anonymous, Al-Anon, whatever your group might be, CODA, but really encourage families to get support and like-minded people listening to other stories. I mean, listening is if not more important than sharing, is really just listening.
Hmm.
And some families are resistant to that, or they don't connect well, and the message sounds different. So I personally have been a big supporter of family support groups. I think they're incredibly valuable. And I've been writing a framework for ours, which is just about completed. And I'm hoping, with some quick footwork, to get it up and maybe running by next week. So
Nice.
we have families that are interested in family support groups. I'm hoping that we'll be able to connect the families that we presently have in treatment, and maybe some families that have already had a loved one with us. And it's just an opportunity for families to connect with families to support each other. It's not a time to talk about what their loved one is struggling with. It's really a time to share what's difficult for them and what's worked for other people. So I'm excited about it. And, we're going to do it in a Zoom format. Our families are all over the country. So that's
Hmm.
the format we will probably be using from this time forward. And I'm looking, I hope our families will see it come out fairly soon, but I'm looking forward to getting it off the ground.
Awesome. That's exciting. And obviously we'll help get the word out. I think it's interesting thinking about families as a kind of peer-to-peer model, but from a family perspective. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So we're all excited. And like I said, folks will hear more about that as we get the info out. So kudos to you, Laurie. And my last but not least question, what have you been doing to stay active and kind of connected during this time? Because I know you just went to Colorado, but you were in quarantine for a little while. But before that, what were you doing?
Kind of the same thing. So I'm like the worst. Before I came to Colorado, I was literally sitting in my home for 8 weeks, and I probably went to pick up groceries maybe 3 times. Um,
Wow.
but really, like, the weather wasn't great. I literally did a lot of nothing. I was stretching with bands. I was stretching on the floor. I was telling my husband, I was showing him how I was doing planks, and like challenging myself to do it for like a minute longer each day. But
Wow. I can
yeah,
only do it for a minute longer. Good God. I do it for a minute and 15 seconds and I'm hurting.
I said I was challenging myself. I didn't say I was successful. But you know, I could complain, but the truth is, I I am so super grateful.
Same
I
here.
Yeah, I mean, all I was asked to do is stay home, and there's like a little part of me that feels like, even like, I didn't follow the rules by coming to Colorado, but I do feel like it was a work visit, and I
Yep.
took every precaution. And I'm not, I could go get my nails done here. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm staying in the lodge, and I'm not doing anything risky. And I'm so, so happy to be here and to see what's going on and see how we're growing, and being able to help out, like boots on the ground, and watch it grow.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Well, I for one, hope you stay safe. And I was thinking you were a little crazy for going, but I totally understand why you did, and I'm glad you're doing all you have to stay safe because we definitely want to make sure you're okay. You're a big
Thank
big part
you.
of what we do, and we all think you're great. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you for joining me, and thank you everyone that joined us. Before we sign off, thanks again to all our frontline staff that are out there doing what they do
Absolutely.
every day. Thank you so much. We definitely believe in you guys, and we support you. And look out for us every day on our Instagram lives. We try to push these things out to provide information to the masses, and hopefully folks are learning from us and taking something away that can be beneficial to them and their families. So Lori, thanks again. I hope to see you soon. And thank you to
Thank
everyone that
you.
joined us today.
Thank you, Jay, for asking. Take care.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye.